Hi, I'm Raquel. First YouTube video, so here we go. Love wins. Love wins. So I'm an Australian registered counselling psychologist, and today I'm here as Raquel, a Psychologist. Love wins. To love and be loved. For as long as I can remember, I've been contemplating this word love. I've been so curious about it. And this, we're here to love and be loved. At first I thought it was a personal opinion. For many years I thought it was a personal opinion. But after 32 years of studying psychology and 20 plus years of working with humans, I worked out that it's a professional opinion as well. So, just for some examples, the research on premature babies, working with the elderly in aged care, depression, suicidality, anxiety, loneliness, cancer recovery, drug and alcohol recovery, it all requires human contact, people, love, okay? And so I've explored this word love, and still am exploring it and the manifestations of this word love. And at uni, obviously, years and years and years ago, back in 1990, I heard about humanism, Carl Rogers, and Carl Rogers said that there were 3 conditions of working with someone, and that if you worked within these 3 conditions, that people would grow to be the naturally best of who they are, that all of us have this self-actualizing potential. And these 3 conditions were what he called empathy, unconditional positive regard, and congruence. And congruence is harmony, compatibility. It's like an agreement between 2 people, and it requires, authenticity on the part of both people. So I'm like, cool, all right, Carl Rogers, humanism, unconditional positive regard, and I have been doing that work since 1990. And then, when was it? Maybe 10 years ago, I'm not sure. I did a professional development with Australian psychologist Dr. Rob Gordon. And at the beginning of this PD, he said to us, he goes, we all started this work because we love our clients. And I was like, he goes, but we're not allowed to say we love our clients. And I was like, Oh, actually, just back on the premature babies. When we discovered that touch and love had a positive impact on premature babies, the research was called kinesthetic tactile manipulation, which actually meant cuddling the babies, touching the babies. Anyway, so he said that there were, if we were using the Greek language, I think he said there were like 7 different words for the word love. And he described eros and he described agape. Forgive me if I've pronounced that wrong. And eros, he said, is not erotic love. What he described it as was reciprocity. And I remember like, oh, yes, okay. And he described agape as unconditional love. What he said was unconditional love is the love that we have for our clients, where we will love you regardless of how you show up, and we're happiest when you leave forever. And then he described eros as relationship love. And he said that reciprocity, that if you love someone, that there's certain expectations. And I settled with that, I settled with that for a while, this idea of relationship love and reciprocity. And it helped with the giving and the receiving. Moving on, there's so much to say about this word love. Recently, I was reading a book by Karla McLaren called The Language of Emotions, and there's this little section in there that says, love is not an emotion. I mean, I've got a handout that describes all the different words of love. Great handout. Lust, passion, sentimentality, familiarity, there's lots of different words. But this person, Carla, says, love is not an emotion, it's a frequency. And I was like, oh, it is. It's a frequency. So with the world experiencing what it's experiencing right now, at the end of 2021, sitting here in Melbourne, Australia, love is a frequency, and it's a daily, hourly, moment-to-moment choice. of stepping in to that frequency. You can contemplate that. Love's not an emotion, it's a frequency. Contemplate it, play with it, be curious, right? And I've worked out this a lot of times, that there's this choice between love or fear. And I'm going to talk about fear and anxiety so much more in future videos. But I'll say this, recently, Meredithia from Meredithia Crystal and Mineral Oracle said in one of her readings, she said, fear or anxiety is a disconnection from self or source or this frequency. I loved that. And I'll talk more about self and source. I'll talk more about the psychological wise self that was taken from internal family systems. We'll talk about that more. But this disconnection from this frequency of love. And so moment by moment, step into the frequency of love. How do we do that? Start with compassion for self. By the time you have the amount of compassion that you need, you'll be free. But self-compassion and curiosity. So look at yourself and contemplate yourself with so much compassion and so much curiosity, as if you're a little experiment. So I know you know yourself, but let's get there even more. Be curious in every moment. So listen with compassion, with curiosity. Listen with a soft heart and an open mind. Something that Richard Rudd from the Gene Keys just recently saw me. And remember, when we're working with ourself, as within, so without, love wins.